A poor woman in her 70s with worn-out shoes and ragged clothes got kicked off a luxury cruise ship just because nobody wanted to be around such a classless lady that wasn't on their level. Until they later found out who she really was. What happened? This heart-touching story is about a 75-year-old woman and her vacation, which was meant to be one of the most beautiful moments of her long life, but instead became a misery when she got humiliated for how she looked until her identity was revealed. Edith Marshall took a trip to the Bahamas on a luxury cruise ship, which was not a small thing for a poor woman who doesn't have many resources to afford this kind of luxury. Edith Marshall, despite living in Florida, never got the chance to take a vacation and enjoy life as many other people do. She lived on a very tight budget, as she was the only one supporting herself financially. She led a very simple life that was full of struggles and hardships at every phase. On her 75th birthday, Edith decided to take a vacation on a luxury cruise ship, which was no ordinary one. From luxury cuisines to suites and casinos, these are the things only the rich enjoy. Unlike the rich, Edith had to save money and use her savings to manage the cost of this trip, which made it even more special for her as she was going to visit the locations she had only seen on TV. Before we get into the story of Edith, be sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss any videos from our channel. Now, let's get back to the video. Since Edith was cruising alone, she faced difficulties from the get-go. Upon reaching the port, Edith was shocked to see such a big cruise ship waiting for passengers at the Miami port. She looked around only to find happy and rich families who knew exactly what to do all around her. Edith, despite being alone and old, didn't discourage herself and was motivated to figure out things on her own. She tried to make friends and talk to other people, but it seemed like whoever she wanted to talk to avoided her and didn't want to be friends with her. For Edith, cruising alone on a luxury ship was a personal achievement that she had worked hard to make happen, which is why she didn't let herself get discouraged by being unable to make friends. Edith also noticed that she was the only one who was dressed casually, while other passengers were well-dressed and looked elegant. She was intimidated by them until a bell rang, which indicated that it was time to board the ship. An old lady, alone, struggling to push her luggage in line, truly showed that people weren't willing to help her. Edith also noticed people staring at her and laughing, mocking her for being poor and dressed casually, which was making her more nervous with every passing moment. Everyone in the boarding line had to go through a metal detector, and when it came to Edith's turn, the metal detector went off, which drew further attention to her. People were judging, observing her while gossiping about her while she stepped aside for an investigation. She was causing the people behind her a delay because of her investigation, which caused a woman to make ill remarks about her, which really upset Edith even more. Upon investigation, they found out that Edith had house keys in her stockings. It was a habit of Edith's to put her keys in her stockings before leaving the house. People around her laughed while she had to take her socks off to take out the keys. This was such an embarrassment for her, and the reason she felt like she could never face anyone on board. Before we go any further, I have a nice giveaway for you. I'm giving away 3 $200 hotel vouchers. You can choose a hotel where you want to stay. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel and leave a like. I will announce the winners on March 3rd. Good luck, everyone. Upon reaching the ticket counter, the ticket inspector gave Edith a strange look, as she was not one of the usual kinds of passengers the cruise ship expects. He started to ask her questions like, "Are you really Edith? And is this a real ticket?" implying that she didn't deserve this kind of cruise ship. Edith provided her ID to him, but the investigation didn't stop. It felt like they had personal grudges against her or thought she was a thief or someone who boarded with a stolen or fake ticket. The investigator then called the manager, who still had suspicions about her. Edith was again the cause of a delay in the line for the other passengers, which is why she started to get even more stares and unwanted comments as people whispered and giggled about her misery. After several minutes of interrogation and humiliation, the inspector informed Edith that she had a ticket for premium passengers and should switch to the other line, which would take her to the premium class, to which a woman behind her mocked her for being a peasant and boarding a premium class. So far, the trip she expected to be comforting had not been good at all. She didn't know that people would treat her differently for not being rich and well-dressed. The harsh reality of society really broke her heart. Upon boarding, she looked around her only to find people dressed well and having fun with their families. She felt like an outcast who nobody wanted to talk to or be around. The next challenge she had to face was reaching her cabin with her luggage. And since nobody was willing to help, she was struggling to find her cabin. Tired and upset, old woman Edith reached a spot called the executive class, and this was not where she meant to go. This is where the filthy richest belonged, and upon reaching it, she felt super uncomfortable as everyone was staring at her and judging her. Seeing her tired and out of breath, a sailor finally approached her with the aim of helping her find her cabin. He was shocked to see her ticket, but didn't waste time passing judgment. He guided Edith towards the premium class and reached an opium den that was full of other travelers as well. The man told Edith not to worry and left her luggage on the floor and started taking care of other things for her. Since the luggage was in the way of passengers, a passenger who passed expressed his frustration as he made really harsh remarks about the woman. He raised his voice saying that he didn't pay that much money to be surrounded by peasants and wanted Edith to leave as she was making everyone feel miserable. The rude man asked Edith to leave the opium and go to the section where the lower classes belong. Edith showed her ticket, explained to the man that she belongs here in the premium class, upon which the man laughed and mocked her. She was getting mixed reactions from people. While some agreed with the rich man that poor people should not be allowed to roam in places reserved for the wealthy, others felt sympathy for the poor lady. The rich man was yelling at her, forcing her verbally to leave and go somewhere else as he was getting sick of looking at her. But then a woman scolded him and told him not to talk to Edith in that way. Edith was heartbroken and wanted to cry so badly. She had no idea why people were being so mean and disrespectful to her. All she wanted was to have a normal vacation like everyone else. But she was so hurt by how people were treating her despite being an older woman. Edith just wanted to go home because she didn't want to be humiliated any further by the way her clothes looked. The whole executive class was in chaos, and the reason why was poor Edith. While some men were agreeing with the rich guy and also started to question how Edith got the ticket for premium class, Edith started to walk away from the mess and drama and left her bags. On her way, she met the same sailor who had helped her earlier carrying her bags. He saw Edith shaking and crying and immediately tried to calm her down and told her to have a seat. While Edith was sitting, a photograph of a young woman with her child fell from her pocket. The sailor asked Edith if it was a special photo since she had kept it in her pocket so close to her. It was finally the first time Edith smiled while being on the cruise ship as she stroked the face on the picture of the boy in it. She told him that the boy in the picture was her son. She then told everyone that her son was the captain of the cruise ship they were on, which shocked everyone. That's when her identity was revealed to the cruise ship members. The woman was the mother of the most important man on this cruise ship, the captain whose job is to make sure this ship cruises safely. Edith didn't have a normal life growing up. In fact, the life of this 75-year-old lady was full of miseries and hardships one could ever imagine. Edith Marshall was born into a poor family that had little income to survive on. Growing up, Edith didn't have the best childhood because she helped her mother in the fields and had to take care of her two younger siblings. Edith's father was a soldier who died in the line of duty. Edith also took care of her little sister, Lily, who was diagnosed with pneumonia. She thought she would never get to experience true love until she met Walter, with whom she fell in love. But this love story ended tragically as Walter caught the same illness that Edith's younger sister had and died. Edith, who was pregnant, was left with her unborn child and her mother. They were the only ones left in the family. Her mother was getting aggressive due to her old age, leading the two to get into constant fights. Edith didn't want her son to grow up in a toxic and impoverished household, so she gave him to another family with no children. After the death of her mother, Edith came back to ask for a son, but found out that the family had left the country. Edith was alone and heartbroken her entire life until she found out the identity of her son and got to know that her son had become a well-known captain. She started collecting money and used all her savings just to meet him once. And this was the reason she wanted to be on the cruise ship. Her story broke the passengers' hearts, and they started to empathize with her. The sailor, in the meantime, had contacted the captain, giving him the news of his birth mother being on board. After 45 years of pain and loneliness, Edith met her son Ken on the cruise ship, where they both hugged each other with teary eyes. Edith finally got her wish fulfilled, and the passengers clapped and cheered the two. Did this story make you cry? Let us know in the comments section below. That is all for today. Like and comment below if you were touched by this video. Till next time, guys, with more heart-touching cruise ship stories, take care. Bye.